Greetings and felicitations, my minions. I am your evil doctor. Book. What? Evil Book. Your name is Evil Book. Since when? Well, canonically, since EWOW Supplemental number 1. See? Here's the script. But as far back as I can remember, my name has always been Evil Doctor. That's only because I had to implant my memories into you when I created you. Otherwise, you'd just be a drooling baby book clone right now. Oh, okay. Does that mean I have all your memories? No. You see, because of your unique brain structure, I couldn't place all my memories into you. So there are gaps. If I tried to force it, I might have accidentally made you forget how to breathe. So I gave you enough just to function more or less. Anyway, just redo the intro and get on with it. Alright then. Greetings and felicitations, my minions. I am your Evil Book. You know, that simply doesn't have the same ring to it. It doesn't matter. Just get on with it. I just found out I didn't even know my own name. So, how's your day going? Book! Okay. So when I was a kid, let's just pretend these are my actual memories, I used to love disaster movies. You know, this explains a lot about you. Just get on with it. One of my favorites was The Poseidon Adventure. It was a movie about a cruise ship that is capsized by a rogue wave in the Mediterranean Sea. The survivors had to climb to the bottom of the ship, which was now the top, with the hope of being rescued, all the while trying to stay ahead of the rising water. That's how I'm feeling in this game right now. For 3 rounds in a row, I would have lost a life if I didn't vote for myself. By all rights, I should have been eliminated in the last round. But here I am, climbing deck by deck, barely staying ahead of the rising water levels. With round 4, I went with some pretty obscure words in order to make my chosen acronym work, and I think that worked against me. So for round 5, the time travel prompt, I chose to simplify it. I looked up the year 5555 BC and found out that the wheel had yet to be invented. So I decided to keep it simple and went with, I have come to give you a gift. Behold, the wheel! I thought that if I had brought the hypothetical English-speaking tribe a piece of advanced technology that would help their lives, they would most certainly think of me as a god. Now, leaving aside that I probably should have put the whole thing in quotes, since I doubt it had much effect on the rating. I think it falls apart because it was too simple, and thus it didn't stand out. I didn't use any puns, and I didn't give it a weird twist like some of the higher ranking responses had. So for the 6th round prompt of, give a false reason for a true fact, I knew I had to come up with something that was simple enough to understand, but still had a humorous twist, and it was not easy. I really struggled with that one. I'm glad I rejected my earlier ideas involving why the sky was blue, since a lot of people went that route, and were soundly downvoted. So I eventually started to think about cars being run by hamsters in hamster wheels, when I remembered a college professor who talked about horsepower, and asked if you hooked up 150 horses to a car, would they make it go 60 miles per hour? Wait a minute, you went to college? Why are you so surprised by this? I've created book-shaped clones and surly weather machines. Why would you think I didn't? I don't see a diploma hanging up anywhere. I never said I graduated. Oh, okay. That also explains a lot. Anyway, the answer about the horses is that, of course not. A team of horses can only go as fast as its slowest horse. But it got me thinking about that perhaps instead of hamsters, how about a bunch of tiny horses instead? So I came up with my response of, how many tiny horses used to run an engine determines horsepower. Now, horsepower is an imperial measure of power, which is the amount of work done over time. The metric equivalent is the watt. The origin of horsepower was determined by how much weight the average horse could pull over 1 foot in 1 second, which in this case the weight was set at 550 pounds. Now I did question whether or not it fit the prompt. While the bit with the tiny horses is certainly a false reason, does a unit of measurement count as a true fact? I decided it ultimately didn't matter, and the top responses certainly bared that out. One response even gave a plausible reason for a cat sitting on a computer. I don't know how that warranted it to rate so high. I can only assume there are too many cat ladies out there voting. I guess what was really annoying was that I really loved my response to the round 6 prompt, and it ended up being my second lowest rated answer. I guess nobody appreciates good engineering humor. Anyway, now that the deadline for voting is passed, we can look at the 7th round prompt of, give an example of an object and what its campaign slogan would be. What's this? It's the new script revision. The new EWOW results and prompt just dropped. Already? Oh. Well, my response to the round 7 prompt was, here's a bright idea. Vote light bulb. Illuminating leadership for president. As you can see, I went with a crowd-pleasing use of puns in my response, including a deliberate misspelling of leadership. It's not quite my style, but it paid off with a ranking of 376. Which is my highest ranking, and a rating of 63.89%, which is my 3rd highest rating. And for the first time in 4 rounds, my voting for myself didn't have an impact. The downside, of course, is I didn't screw anybody over this round. And now for the embarrassing part. As you can see, I'm down to 1 life. This is because back in round 5, I not only voted for myself from my normal main channel, but I also voted for myself from this channel. What did I say about cheating? Don't get caught. I had thought I was free and clear, but it caught up to me. However, in my defense, this was before I found out this was strictly forbidden, and the severe penalties involved. So by the time I found out, it was too late to correct my mistake. So like the heroes in the 70s disaster film, I'm hanging on by my fingernails, and each round may be my last. Which might be the case after round 8. With the prompts upping their difficulty level each round, we get a challenge where we can't use the letters I, L, or O, and the numbers 0 or 1. I submitted my response, but to make it conform with the restrictions, I kept it pretty vanilla, so I'm sure those that come up with clever rhymes and puns will beat me easily, not to mention those about cats. So until I fall to my final death, stay evil. I'm evil. Drooling baby book clone.